week, like, I kind of sweet talked her, well, I would say sweet talk her into leading this panel because, still kind of being new in the office and getting to know people. I felt like it would be good for this to come from her, but so we got asked, what OG stood for when we were asking for people to speak. So I figured I would share like OG. How many people know what OG stands for? Okay, so I mean, it's original gangsta, okay? So, but to us, OG stands for just old school, like you've been here, there's respect among, you guys. So thank you for being the OG and for showing up today and pouring into us, so. That's all I wanted to say.
Old goat.
Old gangsta.
Old group.
Old group, old group.
Old group.
Old guard.
I was like, no, oh, we're not old enough.
Original group.
It's not original.
So the goat stands for greatest of all time,
Yes.
so.
There you go.
She still don't like it.
You guys are the original goats. Congratulations.
Amazing.
Well, I want to go through and, Michelle, we'll start with you. If you just want to give a quick snippet of who you are. A lot of people in this room don't know you. And share, your path here.
Sure, I'm Michelle Vanderwolf, and I've been a licensed agent since 2006. I started here full-time in October of 2008. If anyone knows what happened then, that was when the bottom fell out.
Look at you jumping right,
That's right.
just jumping
So I
right
feel-
in on the
I
hardest
feel
year.
like I always had to scrap for my business because I started at the worst time. My background's interior design. I spent 20-something years in the contract furniture industry. This was really the only place I ever considered. One of the girls, she's no longer with this company. She's back in the design world. She was the one that told me about Keller Williams. So that's when I came here, and I always joke that I'm gonna be buried out there in the courtyard. Stop the recruiting call.
Not going anywhere. Yeah, awesome. Julie, how about you?
I'm Julie Cunningham and I was licensed in 2000. I was a stay-at-home mom, PTA president, room mom, and my husband at the time, they sold their corporate company. It was Plaid Enterprises, which is the largest craft industry in the world. So he started buying houses and flipping them. And he had these agents, and I'm like, I don't think they know what they're doing. You need to get your license and learn this stuff. So he got his license, and then my father-in-law kept saying, Julie, you need to get your license. I'm like, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm PTA. I'm good. Then one day, I'm a woman of faith, and the Lord told me, Julie, maybe you should get your license and work in this business. I'm like, okay. So kicking and screaming, I did it. We went to a little company called Legend Realty, and that was Mary Jane McDaniel, who she's retired, but she was Keller Williams. And the first year, it was fine, but like team meetings, we sat and drank coffee and talked about things. And I told him, I said, I need to go out, and if we're gonna do this, I gotta find a company that I'm going to really grow in. So I interviewed with everybody, y'all, every single company out there. And so I came back, had my little notebook, because you didn't have internet back then, was going through all my stuff, and I said, this Keller Williams. I said, I want to do this Keller Williams thing. And it's funny because when I first did it, every time somebody would be a sign, they were like, we saw your sign. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I first started at Sugarloaf because this office wasn't open. I think there were 50 of us at Sugarloaf when I first started. And then this office opened, and I was like, let's go check out the Buford office. And at the time, his team leader from Northside was the first team leader here. So that's when we came over here.
Greg.
And yeah. So then I realized that God put me into this business for a reason, because after 25 years of being married, I was no longer married, but I had this career because I was in the corporate world. I thought, what would I have done? So that is how I got here. And I left one time for a month, and Jason Bonds told me, Julie, you have 30 days. I'm like, okay. I cried my way back on the 28th day. So never again.
Never again.
Never.
No, this is home.
No.
Yeah, awesome. Teresa, how about you?
My name's Teresa Smith, and I got my license in 2001. And that's when the MLS school was down here at the corner of
Yes.
Buford
That's where I
Highway
went.
20. And Paige Powers, y'all may not know Paige, but a lot of you do. Her husband was in my real estate class, and he said, Oh, you need to go talk to, you need to go talk to Cheryl Sidoti at, she was the team leader at, Sugarloaf, because like Julie said, this office wasn't open. And I interviewed with everybody as well and went to KW and just never looked back. I was a stay-at-home mom before that. I have 3 sons. And, anyway, that was in 2001 and I can't believe it's almost been 22. Well, I think y'all sent me a card. Happy 22nd anniversary. It just seems like yesterday. So it's been quite a road. It's been fun.
Awesome. Joanna, how about you?
My name is Joanna Kraus and I got licensed in 2000, 2000 or 2001, 2001 maybe. And I started my real estate career with Millard Bowen Communities. That was a local builder here. And I've been with them till I had my first son. I took a little bit of maternity leave and then had another baby. And then in the meantime, as we were busy having kids, the market crashed. So, you know, I loved that company and I loved all of the people there. And Jason was actually, Jason Bonds, he was actually one of the agents there at that time. And he trained me. Like him and Bob Hartwell, they were my 2 teachers after I got my license. So both of them transferred when the market crashed. Millard Bowen, obviously the company couldn't provide homes at that time. It was just really tough. And Bob and Jason both transferred to Keller Williams. So after I had my second child, Jason started calling me. And he's like, Joanna, so this new company, when can we have a coffee? And I'm like, Jason, we're still in diapers. I cannot do it. I don't sleep. So he just kept calling me. Finally, I joined the company. I think it was maybe in 2011. And and that's how my career here began. And, I just followed the people really. He did sell me the company. He said how great it was and all that stuff. But for me, it was more about the people who were already there. And, so they kind of chose for me, but I would never change. I just love it here. And I think I was led here by a reason. And the people that are here helped me to transform my life. So I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Mr. Robertson.
I'm Jerry Robertson. I got licensed in 2003. I was at Sugarloaf as well. But about 1.5 years in, I said, let's go to Buford. And I came up with Paige when she was team leader. I describe myself as a recovering engineer because I wrote software for 25 years before I got in this business. My real estate agent down here, when I bought my house down here, I moved down here. She was with Keller Williams. She says, you've got to go. You've got to go to Keller Williams if you're going to get your license. And, my company that I was with had failed and didn't know what we were going to do. I was off being an engineer working for the automotive companies, but really sick of travel. And my old business partner, he says, you're the best salesman I've ever had. I said, I'm not a salesman. Stop insulting me. I'm an engineer. But I guess I was the salesman. So came here in 2005 maybe when I started in here. And I tell people I'm unrecruitable. I get the phone calls. It's like, sure, I'll talk to you about recruiting.
When are you
Want to come to Keller? Yeah. Come to Keller.
Exactly.
Same thing. And
That's
turn it-
right.
Exactly.
Right. So-
Exactly.
I'm here forever,
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah, well, and I think it's important for people in the room that are new to KW and new to real estate to understand why you feel that way. Not just about KW, but as you guys know, I'm super passionate about this market center. I've kind of turned into the mama bear a little bit, with everybody. And I think talking about, we have, if I calculated correctly, at least 100 years worth combined knowledge.
Wow.
I mean, give or take.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, at least. Y'all, that's a lot of knowledge. And so these agents as we run in this market center are accessible. If you need to have a question, want to know something about the market center before you were here, you know who to ask, right? They've been through the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs and the holy cow, the sky is falling, to holy cow, there's deals falling from the trees. Like, you know, and everything that's in between. And so if you're feeling frustrated or not sure what to do, or not only do you have a full market center, but you have people here that just have a wealth of knowledge that are here to support you and answer questions. So I think that's really important. I want to go through and kind of talk to you guys about what's something you all want to share that people in the room that don't have the longevity that you guys do in this market center that we wouldn't know. What's a little nugget that you would want to share that maybe we wouldn't know? You can start,
Okay.
Michelle.
I never felt part of a big organization, really until the first time I went to family reunion. Walking in that room for the opening ceremony with 10 to 20,000 agents just blew me away. It just, the feeling that I was part of a company that was so much bigger than what I understood. That was just amazing to me. And I hope you all get to experience that.
Love that. Jules, how about you?
Okay, something about this market center. I've been on ALC probably 10 times or something like that. Well, I was part of the ALC when poor sweet Jason Bonds came in to be interviewed for team leader. He was so great. We gave him some hard questions. And he just, over and above, he answered everything just so greatly, and he left the room, and I remember all of us saying, he's amazing. Yes, he is going to be our new team leader, and y'all, he's gonna transform this market center. And he did, he has. So that's my thing. Y'all may not know that, but bless him, but he survived and he's done great.
What I love about this market center, we started in 2004, and there were just a few of us here in the office then. And this office is so special in a way that it feels like family. And we've grown exponentially over all of these years. And I wouldn't go anyplace else. You know, Sugarloaf, I call it fancy. Okay. Sugarloaf is a fancy office. We're not a fancy office. I don't care if you're the top agent or a brand new agent that's just joined our office. It's seriously, and as the new people here, as you get to know this office and the people here, and we have such a fabulous leadership team right now, it's unbelievable. We've got humor, David Blanton.
Yes, I do what I can.
Good job
All I can do.
Between you and Bob and, yeah, you guys are just hilarious.
Yeah.
And, I think that we've finally gotten to the point where we're perfect. We really are. And hope that you guys enjoy and love this office as much as all of us old goats have over the years.
Yes, yes. So when I joined this office, there was only like 50 or 56 agents here back in that time. That was the market crash of the century or half century. And what Teresa has been talking about, that was like, we had a very, very close, the feel was like, we were very close, like a family, like everybody was supporting one another. And we were just, doing everything we could to get through those times at that time. And that feel that was there at that moment, we still have it here. That closeness, that, I have your back kind of attitude, and the sharing spirit of this office, like anybody here will always help you. And so you will not find that in many other real estate offices. When I have gotten my real estate license, a lot of people were telling me, are you crazy? You don't come from here, you don't know anybody. And on top of that, you're going into a business that's highly competitive. It's like a cutthroat business, or I don't know if that's the right word. So I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Will I ever make it? It's just like, I felt like I constantly needed to fight and defend and protect. And then I came here and I'm like, it can look differently. There's other way to do it. And if you find it, like even within this office, you can find your tribe your small group of people where you can stick together and help each other and lift each other up and just do things together. And it's possible. So that's something that you guys need to know. It's not always competition and killing it out there. It's also friendships and supporting each other as peers.
Mhm.
And I value that a lot.
Love that.
Okay.
Awesome. Jerry? Top that.
I think I'm gonna take it a different direction. Something you may not know about this office. I was the first compliance broker.
Yes.
Oh.
I was the first compliance broker for Atlanta Partners,
Yeah.
not just this office.
Okay, didn't
Jason.
know that.
I got my broker's license and Jason said, I need help. And every contract has to be reviewed by a broker. Supposed to be. That's a lot of contracts, you know? Then it wasn't so bad because we only had, I think it was 88 people.
Was it? That was a lot back then.
It
though.
was a lot, but we
We
had
did
come
that.
from 200 and some.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We really built back
And
up.
it crashed
Yeah.
and I was still here. And Jason said, will you help? And I said, sure. And then it snowed. Like a heavy snow.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get to the stuff because it was all done in here.
Paper.
So we figured out, well, it was beyond paper. We had DocuStar or something
What
like
was that? Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't DocuSign. It
Yeah,
was
it was something star, yeah.
something Star, I don't know, but I figured out a way to remotely control a computer from here.
Dial in. Mhm.
I came in and hooked it up and I did it at home.
It made the noise.
Yeah, it sound like you're, an alien invasion. But yeah, I was the first compliance broker. We taught and helped other compliance brokers start up and then they pulled it all back into the central office, which
Mhm.
I didn't want that. That looked too much like a job. And I desperately don't want a job.
Love it.
So,
So you are the contract expert. That's what I
Yes,
just heard.
oh, yeah.
Mhm.
He's my go-to.
He looked at all of my contracts that I was writing and I made them.
Awesome. All right, so something funny, and I guess, Michelle, is this where we're supposed to pull up what's gonna be on the screen?
Well, I actually have two, so, well, I have more than two.
I have so many.
I have-
You're right there.
But this one is one of my favorites.
PG.
It is.
Okay,
it is,
okay.
it is.
Make a turn. I put that out there.
It is a little borderline, but it
Okay.
is. Family reunion is in February typically, well, always, and a lot of times falls around mid-February. And George and my birthday are the day after each other, so a lot of times we've been together to celebrate our birthdays. Well, Ashley Warren, who's not here, invited me out for a glass of wine, and we were in Orlando. And we went to this very suburban indoor-outdoor mall, and it was a wine bar, and kind of with an identity crisis for anyone that was there. We couldn't figure out what
Yeah.
was going on. But having our wine, and then David Blanton, the gentleman that he is, offered to go pick up Ann Sefco, because Ann was not, she had stayed late for a class or something. And so while David was gone, unbeknownst to all of us, the lights turned off, the disco ball went flashing, and a drag show started. And
That's not all of it.
well, that's as much as I'm gonna share, but there's, you see Ann, Marcy, and Ashley.
But somebody went to the restroom
It
and met
was-
the person and brought the person back for photos. Was it
Yes,
Ashley?
that was Ashley. And David and I were standing in line for the restroom, and David actually got hit on.
I had a hall pass. I didn't.
But it was a very interesting evening.
I am so sorry I missed it. I'm like, y'all, I gotta go back. It's late. We got an early morning. I missed it. That's one regret I had.
So, and the other one I want to share is also another family reunion story. And I don't know, can't remember everyone who was there, but we were in Anaheim And we all packed in to Jason's car. I think it was a Honda Accord.
Oh, it was Orlando.
Orlando, okay, well, we all.
You were in that
packed
car too?
Yeah, I still can't stand from the spot. We only went about 2 miles, but I remember it was George, Marcy, Teresa,
Me,
Jerry-
Jennifer Mass,
Jerry
Jennifer
Slay.
Mass.
seriously, we were all in.
It was like a two-door Honda Accord, right?
It was a tiny
It
little
was a
sedan.
four-door. Nikki, was it a four-door? Yeah. It was a four-door.
So we pull up to the hotel and get out of this car and the valet people looked at us like we were the clown car. I mean, one after another after another. I think there were
There were
13.
10, because I
10? Oh,
thought
okay.
it popped up on my memory a couple weeks
Okay.
ago. Wish we had a picture, y'all.
Oh, my God.
Jason was down in Orlando trying to court us, and so he was coming down the road, he goes, hey, y'all need a ride? He thought maybe 3 of us would say yes, we all went, yeah. And when we pulled up at the door of the hotel, Kay Evans and Bob Kalinsky, the Southeast region, they were standing there.
It's 1,
Yeah.
2,
That was
3, and then just keeps going, getting out of the car. That's fantastic.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of fun memories.
Yes.
Jules, how about you?
Okay, so this person's not here today, but I have to share this story. So one time we were lucky to have family reunion in Atlanta. And if you know, Gary Keller is a rocker and he AC/DC Back in Black. I know it's because he wears black, but he's been playing that song a long time when he came out on
He
stage.
still plays it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So Sean Motis is also a rocker and Sean wanted to play with the band at the Red Bash. So we're like, well, do it. So he reached out to Gary and Mo and everybody and they flew him up there and he interviewed. And so he played with the Red Bash and it was like a concert. It was amazing. Well, some of us stayed at the hotel down there. Well, we came the next morning, you know, going to class or whatever. Sean Motis was passed out in the lobby on the couch. We're like, dude, you can't do this. You have to get up. He's matured and much more responsible now. But it was hilarious. He's like, where am I? We're like, you're at the hotel in Atlanta. Come on.
The next day, yeah.
I got a room.
He didn't. He would say off the beaten track somewhere.
Yeah.
That time he might not have had a room. He just couch surfed.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have a lot of funny stories, but I think that's one I never shared. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That's awesome.
Well, this was at Mega Camp in Austin, which by the way, Mega Camp it's great. I
Yes.
really love that because of all the panels and everything. It's in Austin every August.
Mhm.
Hot, but it's good. So anyway, we were recruiting and I had brought 2 recruits with us. But our office rented a fur bus, a disco bus.
Fun.
Were you there? You weren't there. So anyway, when the recruits flew in, I had Tom Peters and Jen Willis were the 2 that I had brought. And we pull up to the airport, we've got this, we got this bus blaring with obviously cocktails inside and things like that. And anyway, it worked. We got Tom Peters.
That's awesome.
That was fun.
It was
Mhm. Joanne, how about you?
So I will share a personal story, funny story. So you know how when you're a new agent, and not only a new agent, everybody tells you need to have a coach, you need to have a mentor in your life. So I have always had like, you know, a mentor in my life that has been there since I started, and that's Jason Bonds. Because he was the one that taught me, you know, how to do real estate from the beginning, and we became friends. And then, you know, he always also helped me a lot throughout my career. So when Jason recruited me here to the office, you know, that was the time in my life where we had kids, and the kids were, I have 2 boys, they are 17 months apart. And when Jason started calling me to come over here, I think the second one was maybe like 3 or 4 months old, something like that. So when I finally joined the office a year later, you know, I started, I'm like, okay, how will I establish myself? I've only known real estate from being an on-site agent. So I needed to learn how to really go about business and get listings and do all that while I have, you know, a 2-year-old and a newborn baby. And I'm by myself because my husband goes to work every day and he comes back at 5. So, I'm doing all the kid stuff here and then all the diapers and everything else. And then trying to start a new business. And so I really struggled with it. And one time, I don't remember if it was Jason calling me or I was calling Jason about something. And Jason like, so how are you doing? And I'm like, Jason, I'm not gonna make it. What am I doing? I don't know how to write this contract. I don't know. The kids are crying. Somebody calls me and they're crying in the background, I don't know where to go. I need to do this. I need to do that. He's just, you know what? Come to my office. So I went to the office. We had like a, one-on-one face-to-face meeting. And he's like, so tell me about it. And I just, the first word, and I start crying and bawling. And like, and telling him, oh my gosh, I cannot sleep at night. I wake up, I need to make the phone calls. The kids are there, blah, 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 blah. And I keep going on like that for like 20 minutes. I don't remember what I spilled out to him. And probably it's a good thing that I don't remember all of it. But at some point, he's just sitting there and looking at me quietly, and just quietly, and then he just, I finished, and I'm sobbing, and he's like looking at me, he says, you know what? You might be suffering from postpartum depression. And I looked at him and I'm like, you know what? You must be right. You might be right. And it just changed everything for me because I thought there was something wrong with me, right? And I never would have thought that in some kind of a channel that there is an end out of it. And just for him, it was just so, I thought it was very funny. You just need that one person in your life that will tell you the truth straight in your face. And it will propel you further, it's gonna let you out of the little hole that you are in. I love it. I think
It is sweet little, how he, when he tries to share something that might be hard to receive.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the manner of which he
Yeah,
does
yeah,
it, he has a gift for that
how
for
it-
sure,
yeah,
yes,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Jonathan has a
That's
solution for
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, he does, and he's usually right.
Yeah, oh, that's so funny.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him that.
You're not wrong, actually.
Oh. All right, Jerry.
All right. I'll take it a little further.
Okay, go for it.
This isn't about Jason. It isn't about anything other than I had a coach and he was the best coach ever. And I had a buyer, actually, she was a seller. She had to sell her house. She wanted to buy another house and it was all cash. But her family member who referred her to me had called me and said, she's difficult. Okay. But, I really had to think about it because there are 2 deals on the line, 2 commissions, and I thought, I can handle this. Well, I wasn't so sure. She was difficult. She kept calling the listing agent and going to see the house, and then she'd want me to write the offer. I said, that's not how this is done. And I told her this repeatedly. And it just wasn't sinking in. And at some point, she got into a deal with her son. And it really felt kind of sleazy, kind of, I wasn't sure I wanted to be involved at all. So I called the person who was my attorney at the time, my closing attorney, and then I called my coach and I left messages. And the closing attorney got to me first. And we talked about it and I told him what was going on and he said, well, if you do this disclosure and have them sign this and you can have a meeting with them. And basically he told me, go ahead, do it. So I was going to, and then my coach called me. And I said, nah, I got it. Eric called me and, we got it sorted out. And Meryl said, no, I carved out the time. Tell me the story. So I told him all the details, took about 15 minutes. And at the end of me talking to him, it just was like dead air. He was just quiet. And he finally said, have you ever seen the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail? This isn't going the way I thought it would. I said, yeah. He said, well, then you'll understand when I tell you, run away, run away. If you've never seen the movie, have you seen Forrest Gump? Run, Forrest, run. You know, same thing. And I, listened to what he said, and I fired her that afternoon. I called her up and I said, you need to go find somebody else. And walked away. And the next week, I had 5 deals hanging there, they just presented themselves. And I guess it's a funny story because of the way Merrill handled it and the way he told me. But it's a true story and it happens more often than you think. If you've got a client that you think you probably need to fire and you don't, you're embezzling from your own company. And your energy, your effort, all that stuff. So, little funny story, but there's a moral.
With a
in it.
little nugget in there too. Yeah, no, I appreciate that for sure. So with everyone's youthful 20+ years of experience, you guys still operate at a super high level today in today's market. I'd like for you guys to share a nugget or two on what you're doing today, how you pivoted during a shifting market these last 18 to 22 months, and what you're doing today to keep your success up and what that looks like.
Well, it's always a challenge with this business. It does get easier. The best thing is been past clients, sphere of influence, and keeping in touch with everyone. Had I realized how important that was early on, I would have done a much better job when I didn't have as much business. Always remember to get both people, husband and wife or partner or whatever, if there's 2 involved or more, always get all of their contact information, including a day and the month and the date of their birthday. And if I was to do this today and enter you into my database, I would put March 18th, 2024, because that way I know I've been sending you a birthday card every year since 2024. You don't ever have to ask anyone about their age. So that's just really, really important.
Love that. Thanks for sharing. Jules, how about you?
Okay, my biggest thing is mindset. I mean, we have got to wake up every morning and have a positive mindset. And I'm not a fear monger. I am more of a figure it out, fix it, let's move forward and do that. The biggest advice I have to new agents is y'all are gonna run across some co-op agents that you just cringe when you see their name. They're usually not Keller Williams, that's the greatest thing. But sometimes I like look at it, I'm like, I don't want to work with that person. And it's because sometimes they don't do their job or they're negative and everything is so negative. So I just say, kill them with kindness, be the best agent you can possibly be. If they're not doing their job on the other side, don't complain about it. Pick up the slack, do what you need to do, get to closing, smile at them, hand them a gift or whatever, but don't let the other side, the co-op agent, bring you down or make it a bad experience, because it can be great and you can turn them around. And if you don't, you might have to work with them again and just keep going. So that's my biggest piece of advice.
Mindset, love it. Teresa, how about you?
What, trying to keep our head above water during this changing market?
What has led to your success today?
Oh, golly, I guess just diligence, building relationships. We don't just necessarily mark to our sphere of influence. When we started sending out a newsletter, so we do that. But I've got great girls on the team that, it's just brand awareness, and, we're trying to do some different things as far as marketing goes with, I was taking this class, actually. It was a class that was a certified luxury, whatever, marketing specialist, and this was like the greatest class, seriously. And it was all on, the girl talked to you the whole time, right? And she gave some really great examples, and she had helped to. I'm sorry, I thought I turned that off.
Your rear is ringing.
I know. Sorry. Anyway, so she was showing some things that people had done to set themselves apart, right? And in this class was this video of this beautiful home in Nantucket, and it was on the beach, and the people were trying to sell it, so the listing agent had put this video together. And not only was it the house, but it was the lifestyle, right? And I was so impressed with this video. And I went back to the girls, I'm like, we've got to start doing something like this. Of course, we all have photographers and videographers and all that kind of stuff. So we were filming a new listing a week ago today. And so we asked our sellers, I said, would you guys like to participate in this lifestyle video? And they were like all in, and we did it, and it turned out great. And, you know, the girls post it every place, and we get like a lot of views, and people call. People call, what can we do different? What can you do to set yourself apart? So anyway, that's what we did. It had their grandchildren, you know, pulling up and running up the steps to their grandparents' house and hugging and playing Scrabble on one of the tables. Now, this is showing the house at the same time, right? So it's the lifestyle interspersed with the property. Kids, you know, carrying tubes down to the lake, swinging on a big swing. Anyway, we were so pumped. Anyway, that's what we're doing. More,
Well, you guys are doing a great job. And I think, didn't one of those include people like in their boat?
yeah,
Like
it's the
living
same
on their
one.
boat? Yeah,
Living
and the
on the
family
boat.
living on the boat, and you guys just did one with the drone where Mackenzie's walking up the dock and she's talking and, yeah, so I think trying to be really intentional on how to stand up.
Mhm.
Stand
Yeah, we
apart.
called FMLS. What can we not do as far as our videos go? And they said, you can't say your name, you can't say your company, but you can say the property address. Great. So that's what we do, and
You
now
make it fun.
they make it fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why can't you say your name?
They just said, when we called FMLS and talked with them, they said,
It's
because it's
self-promotion.
promoting, yes,
Yeah,
like
for-
what Joanna just said, it's self-promotion. Can't say I'm Teresa
Not-
Smith
not-
with
not
Keller
in MLS.
Williams.
You cannot.
Not on MLS.
You could have it somewhere else, yes.
Yeah.
Like if you
Some
put
of
it on
mine
social
have not
media.
been flagged and some of them have, because I used to do that in my, I introduced myself and at the end I say it, and some got through and some didn't.
Okay, so I'll go back really quickly to our class last week, that when we had compliance here for team meeting, everybody should watch the recording. Because Stephen Dickens, one of our brokers, was here, talked about what you can and can't do. Because KWRI has some things that like, you know, our signage, but Georgia laws are different, and Georgia trumps what KWRI, what's in the manual. So just for compliance purposes, everybody watch it, because it's really, really, really good.
Good idea.
A lot of people in the room are going, oh, I think my signs are wrong. Oh, I don't think I have my name right in the right place. So there was a lot of wow moments in the meeting last week. So on a side note, it was a
I
great
got a
class.
$600 fine
You did?
Mhm.
Oh, I
a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
MLS?
Yeah, they wouldn't tell me who narked on me.
And yeah, and we'll keep going. I want to share, so I was sharing last week also, guys, I get like a text probably once a week to 2 weeks on agents tattling on other agents. So if there's an agent out there that maybe, you know, people have way more time than they need. So I just tell people, do the right thing when nobody's looking, do everything with integrity. Make sure you're following the rules, because somebody who has more time than they should is probably at some point going to whatever, see one of your signs or one of your posts and be like, oh, well, they don't have this in the right place or that in the right place, or it doesn't say Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners, you know, owned and operated by, and all the things, because all that is required on everything that you do. So just be mindful of that when you're out in the world. So, Joanna,
All right, and what is the question again?
what are you doing in today's market with your very youthful years of experience to still operate at a high level that you can share?
Okay, well, a lot of the same, really, because the basics never change. So the database, and then you have your sphere of, I work a lot with sphere of influence. So being more purposeful about reaching out to the sphere of influence, offering them more value, And because the past years, let's say, we all have probably neglected a lot of that. We were just on autopilot. So being more personal about reaching out to them, calling them a little bit more than I used to. And then we're putting more events out this year for the database in order to have more face-to-face contact with them. So being a little bit more personal, more into their life. And then, adaptation on social media, like the only steady part of this business is change. So you guys need to know it. The sooner you embrace the change, the better. Change means new chance. Whenever something's changing, there's a new chance to do something different or more or else. And so then I'm also focusing more on the social media videos and things like that. I have really not been doing a lot of it, so that's new for me.
Awesome, awesome. Jerry, how about you?
Same thing. Always the same for me.
Yeah.
Sphere of influence, past clients, your database, stay in touch. Write a note, write a handwritten note,
Mhm.
drop it in the mail. Calling your folks. Working by referral is not the same as word of mouth. Word of mouth is passive. There isn't anything you can do to make it happen. Working by referral, you're out there asking for referrals. You're out doing the things that you need to do. And it's not, who do you know that is ready to buy or sell? That's not the question. Question is, if you were buying or selling a house or had a friend or family member who was, do you have an agent you'd refer them to? And you work for the referrals. That's different. And you can do that from day one. Unless you're that person that nobody trusts today, you shouldn't be that in this business, but you can do this and you can just, you just do it every day and you do it consistently and you just keep doing it and it will pay off. It's that thing that I've done for 21 years, and that's where most of my business has come from. So occasionally I get a sign call or something else,
I hear a lot of database, sphere of influence, mindset, how to stand out in the crowd.
It's
Yeah.
basically the basics. It's never changing, no matter what the market is, what it's gonna be, what it has been. It's always the same thing. The
Yep.
only thing that really changes maybe is the method of communication, like
Right.
the social media right now, how you communicate it. But the consistency of it, the act of doing it actually is what brings you business. So
Right.
if you don't do that, if you don't have a database, you're always chasing the rabbit because you don't have anything to fall back on, and you're really not growing the business. And like Michelle said, with years, it becomes a little easier because people know you, you've established your brand, you've established your name, people trust you, so people come to you, but they will not come to you if you don't do all those activities.
Yeah.
It won't be just, oh, Joanna is great, and then for the next 20 years, people are gonna be coming. No,
Right.
you still need to put out the effort, you still need to put
Yeah.
out the energy. It comes easier to you, and then, people know you more, so that you attract more people that way.
You have
Yeah.
to show people what your value is. We're not just an agent, a realtor. Show them what you do, show them your value proposition, and everybody needs to have that. You need to have your mission and your value proposition before you go in to meet with somebody, so that this is what I can do for you. This is my value.
And I know, Michelle, you kind of shared yours. I'll start with Jerry this time. Talk about if you could know one thing today that you wish you had known on day 1 or day 10, day 20, when you first got licensed, what would that be?
Sean Rawls. I was in a class with Sean Rawls. He wasn't supposed to be the teacher, but he was teaching.
Okay.
And it was 2 days of buyer something or other, I don't know. And on the second day, he came in and after the break, he said, how many of you are new? The whole class pretty much. And he said, he smiled and he says, y'all don't have anything to do, do you? He says, you don't have any clients, you don't have anybody to work with, you're new. Let me tell you what you're supposed to do. Write 5 notes, make 5 calls, and go see 5 houses. That's what you're supposed to do. You go see the 5 houses so you get to know the market. You walk through the house and, you know, you can go see a house without a client. I'm previewing, you know? Write 5 notes and make 5 calls. If I had done that from the time I started,
Mhm.
it would have been much easier. But that first year was rough.
You
And
didn't know what to do.
I hadn't learned that yet. Activity. This business rewards activity. Get off your couch, put the video game away, go do it.
Mhm. And I'll add to that, like, also get off the computer. Like, communicate. I think everybody, you gotta find the channel that really communicates well, you know, for your database. The handwritten notes. I did a handwritten note a few weeks ago and they took a picture of it when they got it and texted me and said, haven't seen one of these in a while. And it actually meant something, like it
Yeah.
still has
Yeah.
value. So
Talk
it,
about standing out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the little things that just go a really long way that I think we just get kind of complacent and just don't think about anymore, because we don't get them that often either. I think we got them all the time at home. We would think about it more, but we don't get them at home either. So my mom sends them, but,
Yeah.
you know, they do mean something. I get excited when I get an envelope at
How
home.
many emails do you get a day?
Too many. Which email address?
Yeah.
Good point. How many handwritten notes do you get a day?
I got it out from the office.
I know. I write them.
Stand out.
My biggest
Stand
thing
out.
is fun, beautiful stamps. It's the little things,
Yeah.
like I go to the post office and I pick out I'm so excited about my stamps when I do it. And people will say something to me when I send my note, like, that was the coolest stamp. It's like, what about my note? But I don't care. It was like, yeah, little things, the stamps
Yep.
Mhm.
But what Jerry
and
said,
stickers. I put stickers and
yeah,
stamps.
and what Jerry said, this does not apply just to new agent. It applies to me as well.
Yeah.
Whenever I get slower, 555. I don't go to visit the houses, but I do on
Yeah.
Facebook messages instead of that. But that is a cure to pretty much any lack of inventory or shortage or slow pipeline or low pipeline.
Yeah.
That is it. If you don't know anything about real estate, but you know this, you're gonna be successful.
Everybody write it down, 555.
Mhm.
Well, what are you writing in the notes?
Hi. Literally, I've written that in
Yeah.
a note. Hi. And I just send it.
Sometimes I see that. Yeah.
It's that.
That is so scary.
It's just- Go look at them on Facebook.
That's
Go
all I was
look
gonna
at their
say.
life.
Forward
Write
sandwich,
something
yeah.
nice in the note.
Yeah.
Just whatever, it doesn't matter.
I just
You know,
say
be
something.
authentic, but it doesn't matter.
about you.
I say, hey, just saw y'all had a great trip to blah, blah, blah. Looked fantastic. Hope to see you soon. Yeah.
Kids graduating, or
Yeah.
going on a trip, or something going on, like just stalk them on
Exactly.
social media and just pick a couple
Exactly.
of nuggets that, you know, would mean something.
Or hope you're doing well.
Yeah,
Great
or
night.
I
Happy
hope you're
spring.
enjoying this beautiful
Yeah.
spring weather we're having. I mean,
Yeah.
just,
So
you know, so
I have a
generic.
quick question. So I've done a lot of open houses because we're relatively new here. We've only been here a couple of years. So I make those phone calls and I send those text messages and I send those emails. And my response rate is 0.
Don't stop.
It's okay.
Don't stop.
Yeah, you
Stop.
need to
But
know.
I kind of personalize it. I'm
No,
like,
no.
why don't they?
No.
just keep doing it?
Time.
Just
Yeah,
keep
Keep doing it.
keep doing it.
Okay.
Tell-
Send them a
tell-
bookmark. You know, I used to do bookmarks. Send them something that they have. you know.
So they're not dead until they tell you they're dead.
Correct.
Until they file
they
a
go
restraining
away.
order.
That's true.
But it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I had 9 people go through one of Stacy's properties on Sunday, and I sent them all the disclosures and say, you know, nice to meet you, here are the disclosures. If you're looking to make an offer, we can talk that process through. Nothing. I'm like, I come home and I'm excited, and then it's just like, oh my goodness. So I have these ebbs and flows. So
Mhm.
how do you manage?
Maybe
that?
say, thanks for stopping by. So great to meet you.
Yeah.
I do.
And don't, but I don't say that about, if you wanna make an offer on the house, just, it's a relationship, just
Right.
great to meet you and your kids and hope you enjoyed my cookies or something like that. I don't do cookies anymore because I eat them all. I know I eat them all because nobody shows up. Mhm, yeah.
How do you guys handle that? besides a glass of wine, because that's kind of my go-to, which I,
You know that it's statistics. The
Yeah.
more of them you
Yeah.
do, the more of them you send,
Yeah.
you will get it. You will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that will respond to you. Sometimes they do it in their time, sometimes they came to the open house because they're thinking of buying a house in 2 years. So if you drop the ball, you're not gonna get them. If you don't drop the ball, you'll get them in 2 years.
Yeah,
But you need to know anything so every type of marketing that you apply in your business, you need to know the time frames more or less by which you're gonna get return on. Okay, so with open houses, it's better to, if you have numbers, it's better to call them. You know, and it can be it can be just like, hi, thank you for coming to my open house. It was great to see you. Please let me know how I can help. And then 2 days later, you send them a handwritten card, then you send them an email, then you send them something else. You need to have a system. You should have at least 6 touches after each open house.
6.
Yes, 6 so 1 every week for 6 weeks. And then you can put them on your 33 touch.
Yeah.
And so there is a system for everything. So when you do something in this business, you need to start, everything you start, you need to start it with the end in mind. So where am I gonna end with this? When I start this activity, where is it supposed to end? What's the process along the way? And for anything that you do more than once, you should have a system. It takes time to build it. I'm not telling you I've got a system for everything. I wish I had. But if that mentality, that knowledge helps you deal with the rejection, because they're really not rejecting you, you haven't communicated to them in a way or on something that really sparked that need for them to reach out to you. So, but you need to stay in front of, like, if you stay in front of their face, they will come to you because they'll see your consistency, your persistence. When they have a need, they're gonna respect that. They're gonna respect them, know that if you're sending them something, send an item of value, something that's valuable to them. And it will turn up for you. It will, just give it time.
one matters. I send, those little flowers, forget-me-nots, and I put a little note on there, you know, I forgot what I say, but something about forget-me-not. And they're 80 cents if you buy them in bulk.
So it's interesting, I've been using listings to leads, and I guess what keeps me motivated is that it kind of tracks. So I've got about 210 people I've collected over the last 2 years, and that's kind of my database or my, from the open houses. And I get a pretty high percentage because using listing leads, you can see if they've at least opened the email, and I'm getting click-throughs like 60%. So they're seeing them, but nobody like responds. And I'm just like, so I'm trying to provide content.
Is it only email or do you do other touches to them?
I've been primarily, I've done the phone calls, but I'm not getting anybody that's answering the phone
Have you done them consistently?
Right.
consistently, yeah.
Send them a
My real
card,
estate agent
send them a
answers
note.
the phone,
Yeah.
because I'll do a cold call, nobody will answer, and somebody will call, and I'm like, somebody answered the phone. And then I start talking to them about their house, whatever they're doing for sale by owner, come to find out they're a real estate agent. And I'm like, okay,
Recruit them.
there's so many.
Yeah, put them in your profit share. Yeah, put them in your profit share.
So you're just keep your head down, keep pushing that rock up the hill.
Yes, but I
cannot-
would only, if you only do email, you will have less response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You need to reach out to them differently, maybe put an event together in the office, think about something where you can invite them.
I've never had so many people who leave phone numbers and you call the number and it's like the email box has not been set up for this phone and you're like, what? How do you not have like a voice message on your?
No, nobody plays voicemails.
You can
No,
text
they
them, you can,
My son taught me that.
leave
Nobody-
voice.
Nobody's,
That's trendy right now, it's like,
Yeah.
sorry, the mailbox is full, you
Yeah.
cannot leave a message, it's like.
right,
I think text is better than email.
Yeah.
A nice,
Smart plan.
good idea. Yeah.
That's smart.
The smart girl will tell you that.
Did you know you have
Trillio?
a smart plan?
Yeah.
Trillio, right?
No,
No.
you don't have to use Twilio. You can set up a text smart plan and actually you can set up a text smart plan. It will remind you that you need to go in and text these people in command. So it'll come
We
up.
need a
as
class. We need a
You
class.
have Twilio.
You just talked yourself.
I
into
just
a
had
class.
smart plans workshop last week, y'all missed it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for reminding us that we missed it. We needed.
Yeah.
That'd
All
be a
right,
good
we'll
one.
go back. Teresa, how about you?
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of something that Jerry said, and the way that I got my first listing is I had gone to look at this house. Oh my God, it was so gorgeous. So I would like take my friends back and I'd leave a card. And then I'd take another friend back and leave a card and just kept leaving business cards. And I was new, oh my gosh, it was so long ago. And And finally, when the listing was expiring with some fancy agent that, the guy called me and he goes, hey, you showed my home more than anybody else has.
Love
Would you
it.
be interested in selling our house? It was $1 million listing. And that was back in 2003.
And you're like,
So that was like a $5 million listing. I didn't know what to do, but anyway.
But you had a support team to figure it out, and you got the listing.
I didn't support, I was an individual agent forever.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, figured it out.
But consistently dropping off your business cards.
Just go look at houses.
Uh-huh. You
And
working
now
that?
you gotta preview, like Jerry said, if you don't know the market that you're trying to sell in,
Yep.
then you don't know the market. So whenever something comes on the market, just, you don't have anything to do, go look at houses. Leave your card, you find then
Yep.
ask the listing agent. I get lots of calls from other agents that ask if they can promote my listings. I'm like, sure, why not? The
Mhm.
more eyes on it, the better, so.
And how many houses should you preview a week?
5
A day.
a day.
Oh, sorry, a day.
If you get in 5 a week, it's good.
It is good.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Because
like,
everybody got out of the habit when
Yeah.
things are falling from the sky, everybody stopped everybody stopped making phone calls, everybody stopped making connections. And so create good habits now regardless of what the market is. Yeah.
especially if you have somebody in the market, yeah, you know.
True, and when people call and say, hey, have you seen this house that just came on the market?
I'd love to say yes.
I know, right? So I'm like.
Mhm.
that one, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's perfectly legal to do that to promote someone else's listing, because I swear I
Yeah.
saw something somewhere saying like stop
If they
doing
give
that.
you permission. Yeah, if they give you permission.
Within Atlanta Park, Susan.
Yeah, and the permission.
Anyone in
Right.
our offices, you can.
Any of our offices.
just-
Is that written permission? or-
Yes,
Yeah.
it needs to be in an
You
email.
still need permission, but you can, you can promote anybody's listing that's in Atlanta Partners.
Mhm.
Does a text message count as written permission?
Yeah, I think so.
It's email, text message.
Just saying, question that
Yeah.
y'all may wanna ask that you're not asking.
Yeah. It has to be in writing somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, that kind of relationship is different than when you're talking about a contract. Somebody has to sign something
Right.
somehow. You can't say a text message is a contract. But you can, if you've got something in writing, just that, a text message from the agent.
Yeah, well, to respect y'all's time, because I'll talk forever. Questions, I'll let you ask the questions. Anybody have any questions? We got
Can I
something to
say my information thing real quick?
Oh, yeah.
My greatest information?
Yes.
Not that I'm trying to take anything from it, but stay educated. Like Inman News, I take Inman News, it's $99 a year or whatever. Don't listen to what you hear on the Fox News and social media. Go in, take every designation class, every continuing education class you can take. Go, I've already signed up. I'm already a accredited buyer's representative. I signed up again because there's gonna be so much to learn with everything going on, but stay in the news and stay on top of everything that's going on.
I took a class for my SRS,
Yeah,
and you know how much money is
I
out
just did that
there?
again.
I got reimbursed for
Tell
it.
people what that stands for.
Yeah.
SRS.
Senior resident.
No,
No, specialized residential, that,
Sellers representative.
sellers, yeah, I have it too.
There are many of them.
Specialized.
But I got
sellers,
reimbursed
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
tons of
There's
money
a
out
free
there.
one.
All you have to do is
Yeah.
just fill out a form and they
Yeah.
send you the money back that you paid to take the class.
I got paid back.
Mhm.
There's free ones on NARA right now for ABR and SRS.
There you go.
Sign up, do 'em.
Specialist.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the specialist, you had the seller, representative, yeah. All right, now, go ahead, sorry.
Who pays you back for that? Is that?
That's it.
Keller
It's
Williams
like,
or-
I think I
It
took
was,
it
it's GAR, I think I did mine to GAR.
Yeah, you can apply for like.
It was,
scholarship or
Tom
something.
Gillette. Tom Gillette was my instructor.
I took it through Ready, REDI.
Okay, they're doing some now too.
And there'll be a check back for the.
Do them all.
Continuing education classes to get certification stuff
Yeah.
and then renewal.
But add them to your email signature.
That's one where there's a double,
Yeah.
take a double class for one or something.
You had to take another 3 hours to get your SRS
Yeah.
after you took the class, then you had to do another class
Mhm.
with.
But then you have to renew it every year, and I'll be honest with you, after 3 years, I didn't renew it, I regret that. So now I'm redoing it because I don't want to just say I'm that if I'm not specializing in doing what's going on.
Mhm,
So I signed back up for all of them.
mhm. Michelle, anything else you want to share?
No, just keep out there and keep your head up
Show up.
and just, yeah.
Show up. Yeah.
Questions? No, Deanna, you asked yours.
I'll say one thing,
Mhm.
give more than you take.
Mhm.
You
For
know,
sure.
Be
that
nice.
stuff on the wall,
Yeah,
you know, take some time, look at it, read it.
absolutely.
That solves a
Your
lot of
value.
problems.
Mhm.
Give more than you take, and it will encourage others to give more than they take.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'll add to that. I think everybody in this room, for the most part, have had one-on-ones with me, or I interviewed you to be part of this market center. I was very open about the culture here and our people and the feel of this office. And I'm following in huge footsteps, you know, with Jason leading this office for a long time. And obviously he'll be here on Thursday with Nikki. Is a huge mentor for so many people in this office. And just understanding that the integrity and the win-win and all these things that we talk about. This is what we, how we act, how we believe, what we believe in, what we do every single day in this office. And like, you know, you were talking about, you're gonna have co-ops and people that you come across that are just really gonna challenge you, and operate in the gray area. And it's okay to walk away. It's okay to say no. There will be more things that fall your way, by doing the right thing than trying to get away with doing stuff the wrong way. And doing
That
the
right
wrong
there
thing.
brought me to Keller Williams. When I told y'all I really interviewed every company out there. It was that right there.
Mhm.
And the culture.
Well, and I think it makes a difference when people believe in it. You can say,
Yeah.
you can have anything on the wall you want to.
Mhm.
But I think believing in it and having a core group of people, you all, that believe in it, that live it, talk about it, and lead that way in your business, I think it's just a huge inspiration. And I think a tribute to the success of this office. So I want to thank each and every one of you for sure, because we wouldn't be here without y'all. You guys kind of started the track.
And
So-
thank you, because you have brought life back into this market center.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
I love it.
So.
Yeah, it's
I love
amazing. We have great staff and we have the best core of people we've had since I've been here in my 23 years, seriously.
Mhm. Yeah, we got a good crew.
We do.
So we got a good family. So I'm blessed and honored and appreciate being here. So I can't imagine being anywhere else. So any questions? Anything else for anybody? All right. Melissa, don't forget anything?
Nope.
Okay, big round of applause.